This is Gail. Gail's not my older sister, but she might as well be. When my parents were working late nights, Gail made sure I got enough exercise playing Chinese fire drill. She also ensured that I consumed the best in musical tastes, including knowing the hand gestures to Too Legit to Quit. Gail is one of those people that you want to be when you grow up because she knew all the cool stuff happening on MTV. And adults respected her for being responsible with kids like myself. At least this is the Gail I knew. Gail has another side to her, a middle finger to the man side, a side that challenges the powers that be, a side that won't back down. Which meant that Mike was her perfect choice to fall in love with. Mike was a Star Wars nerd with a wild streak to his character that everyone loved. Together, Gail and Mike expressed their rebel love in unique ways. They shot off fireworks in the middle of the street, no matter what time of year or time of day it was. They stole a poster of Harrison Ford from the local Red Robin. They talked about starting a family together and raising them as Jedi, or at least that's what Mike's approach was going to be. In 1997, they were married, and it looked like the budding of a perfect youthful romance. Three years later, Mike went into the doctor's office for an x-ray. What was discovered was anything but good news. Mike was diagnosed with non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, and he wasn't even in his mid-20s. The doctor said that after chemotherapy and all the other necessary treatments that would strain his body beyond repair, the only way Gail and he would conceive a child would be through artificial insemination. Mike wasted no time freezing his sperm with the express consent that it was for Gail and Gail alone, and to be used when he had recovered from the villainous cancer that he had named Lloyd. The hard-boiled truth was that Mike was making a heroic decision, a contingency plan in case the worst happened. And on March 24th, 2001, it did. Now, not being one to give up on her life and her family, Gail made the tough choice to conceive and raise Mike's child on her own, knowing full well the rough road ahead. She'd start the family they had always planned on, grooming little Jedi even if Mike was not there to act as their Obi-Wan. For the next 2 years, Gail dealt with losing a husband and trying to gain a child. And then, in December 2003, Ian Michael Burns was born. And you certainly couldn't doubt it was Mike's son. His eyes, his energy, his mischievous smile, all characteristic of Mike. There was one skeptic, however, and that was the Social Security Administration. Essentially, this is what happened. After Mike died, $35,000 was paid out in survivor benefits to Ian. And when Gail lost her job, it helped to supplement the income of an unemployed single mother struggling to get by one day at a time. But in 2009, the Social Security Administration reviewed Gail's case and determined that she could not legally prove that Ian was the son of her late husband in accordance with the Social Security Act, forcing her into bankruptcy. Now, the Social Security Act is actually a federal law with no precedence over this issue because that ruling is made on a state level. And what state does Gail live in? Utah, the state that prides itself on its family values. Now, Gail has refused to accept the Social Security Administration's claim and sued the agency back in June of 2009, a case that asks a big question. Should Social Security be paying out surviving benefits to children who've lost a parent, whether or not said child was conceived before or after a parent's death? Gail's case has gone all the way to the Utah Supreme Court. garnishing the attention of local media outlets and even the Wall Street Journal. But it's difficult to say if the press coverage is really helping. The Wall Street Journal conducted a poll in conjunction with Gail's story, with 79% of those surveyed in the poll saying that children should not receive Social Security survivor benefits if the child was conceived after a parent's death. Then there's the myriad of social network commentators offering such insightful nuggets of hate and disdain. The Salt Lake City Tribune was flooded with 216 of these very loudmouths, such as Panda Bear, who asked, "Now, how did this dead guy knock this chick up?" And then goes on to question if Gail is so destitute she cannot parent one child on her income. Now, no court date has been set for Gail's case, but it doesn't mean she's given up. To stop now would mean giving up on the family that she and Mike intended to raise. It would mean giving up on Ian, and that's not an option. So, Gail fights. She fights against the system, against popular opinion, against red tape and bureaucracy as she tries with all her might to do what's best for her family. But, as Mike would say in his best Yoda voice, try not. Do or do not. There is no try.